I was worried about the situation of cement in Nigeria. And I woke up at 4 a.m. I couldn't sleep. Then I waited till 5 a.m. I phoned Aliko Dangote. Aliko was in Lagos, I was in Abuja. And I woke him up. I said, Aliko, what are you doing? He said, what should a gentleman be doing at 5 a.m.? He should be sleeping. I said, well, I have no apology for waking you up. Can you see me at 7 a.m.? He said, Mr. President, it's bad enough that you wake me up at 5 a.m. But for me to see you at 7 a.m. when I'm in Lagos and you are in Abuja, and the first flight is 7 a.m., it is impossible. I said, what time can you see me? He said, 9 a.m. And he came at 9 a.m. When he came, simple question. I said, Aliko, why are you importing cement and not producing cement? And he said to me, do you want an honest answer? I said, if I call you here, I want an honest answer. That's why I've called you. He said, because it's more profitable for me to import cement and sell than for me to produce cement, which is an honest answer. Then I asked him the second question. I said, what can I do to make you produce cement? He said again, you want an honest answer? I said, yes. He said, make it as profitable for me to produce cement as it is profitable for me to import cement and sell. Again, I haven't got where I was going, or he was leading me. I said, how do I do that? He said, tie my importation of cement with my production of cement. My head got it. I said, you can go. I called my Minister for Industry, who also came from the private sector. I said, look, I've had this discussion with Aliko. Come and go and work it out. So Aliko then planned to produce 5 million tons of cement a year. Since we started producing cement in 1956 up to 2003, we've never produced 5 million tons. So when Aliko made that, the people in the ministry said, he's telling a lie. He wants to, he's making it up. I said, all right, let's see how his lie will work. So I put 2 people in Aliko's construction site, and they are reporting to me every day. The day Aliko, the contractor did not work, they will phone and tell me. And I will immediately phone Aliko. So one day Aliko came to me and said, Mr. President, I'm getting worried about you. I said, what have I done? He said, you know about this cement project more than myself. And it is not a government project. I'm getting worried about you. I say, hey, my brother Aliko, this is a Nigerian project. So anything Nigeria is a government project. Not only did Aliko succeed in the first 5 million, he succeeded in the second 5 million. He succeeded in the third 5 million. I started taking him out to other countries in Nigeria, in Africa. I took him to Tanzania. I took him to Senegal. That's how Aliko made it.
Former President Olusegun Obasanjo just explained how he single-handedly made Aliko Dangote the richest man in Africa, thereby revoking other businessmen licenses in favor of Dangote with single policy that he brought. He brought a policy for a bargain terminal process of cement in Nigeria to stop automatically. You remember, as he have just explained from the beginning of this video, he brought Dangote in, giving Dangote a license after introducing a policy that he called backward integration that made it impossible for other businessmen that were in the cement industry to coexist with Dangote, just because Ibeto, as at the time that some were selling at 800 naira, Ibeto was selling his own 600 naira per bag. But when Obasanjo came up with his policy that it is only those that can locally manufacture in Nigeria that should be allowed to operate. But where he got it wrong was that he didn't extend these licenses to the rest of the other businessmen. Mind you, it was not only Ibeto that was using that same bargain terminal process to produce in Nigeria. There were others too who were also using the same system to produce. But the problem with Ibeto was that Ibeto was selling his own cement lower than the rest of the businessmen that were in the same business. It became an issue, especially with Dangote. Hence, Obasanjo came up with what he just explained to us, because he said that he was worried about the cement industry. As at that time, cement was cheap, everything was okay. Why were you worried? Why were you worried? The policy that he brought frustrated Ibeto, automatically made Ibeto business illegal through one policy that OBJ brought. Now, this is the problem with this thing that I'm talking about now. Let's relate it to Nigerian oil industry and what happened before now at the cement industry. Now, Dangote have built a refinery. If you remember, you will understand that the reason why there is no gas, even the available ones, are sold per kg for 2,000 naira in Lagos, is because Dangote is having a problem between Dangote Group and Pengassin and Nupeng. And if you look at that reef, the battle, the power tussle between the Nupeng, Pengassin and Dangote, you will understand that Dangote is trying to gain monopoly again in oil industry, because if people don't understand what is going on, if Dangote succeeds, he's using his influence, government connection to frustrate other marketers who are in the same oil sector with him, who will be at the mercy of Dangote. The money that you claim that is reducing today, by the time he sees that he's the only one who supplies us oil, he will inflate that price, and as at that time, you won't be able to do anything. And it is not good for us as a country to depend on only one person as far as oil is concerned in Nigeria, because everything depends on oil. He did it in cement industry. You just listen how Obasanjo single-handedly made him the richest man in the Africa by introducing one single policy. The only thing that is still saving us as at today is because our current president Bola Ahmed Tinubu have not listened to Dangote's request. He still allow the market force to determine who should stay in the business and how much the commodity should be sold. So I'm saying that federal government should carefully look at the rift between Dangote and Pengassin and give other people a level playing field where it will be a win-win for all of us, rather than allowing one single individual to monopolize all business sector in Nigeria. It is not good for us as a nation. There are need for us to give other people an opportunity. That is only when some of this essential commodity price will crash to the benefit of the masses, just like what the same Obasanjo did in telecommunication industry. If you had monopolized Econet then, as we call them, if you had not allowed MTN, Globalcom, by today, we wouldn't be enjoying GSM. But one of the fastest thing or the smartest thing that Obasanjo administration did then was that when after the introduction of the mobile phone, Econet was the first in Nigeria. Before MTN came, from MTN, Glo also came. In fact, Glo was even the one that even crashed the price, because you remember then, when you recharge your phone, once you make hello, it's me, call me back, 60 naira have gone. Now MTN now came and John followed suit until Glo came and told Nigerians that they can actually bill you by seconds, not by minutes. Because what Econet started with and MTN was they charge per minute. Even though you whatever you said it under 2 seconds, they will remove money for 1 minute. But when Globalcom came, they told us that they were going to charge per minute, thereby bringing competition among the 3 major network providers. Then MTN and Econet, then they do not have any other choice than to also adjust their own billing per seconds, not per minute again. So therefore, instead of us to publicize everything, it is good we look at some of these things critically for the benefit of Nigerian people, for the benefit of the masses, not just what will benefit us as politicians, as leaders. My name is Noel Akam Jr. Do subscribe to my channel and follow me on other social media networks for regular updates. See you in my next episode.